Spent 4 years in the Marines. As a hobbyist guitar player, I had Pro Tools in the Marines, and I would just kind of like record friends of mine. And then it was when I got out, I went to Los Angeles to visit some friends. These guys were just making music production and doing the music life. And that's kind of like when I found out it was an actual career. Like, dudes were doing it for real. I interned at one studio, which is Track Record in Los Angeles. Got my start there. And I was working on a Most Def session, assisting this engineer, Jan Fairchild. And they were going to Record Plant. And I was like, why is everyone going to Record Plant? So Jan's like, dude, I can get you a job at Record Plant. I used to work there. I know Rose. And Rose at the time was the boss lady at Record Plant. I met a lot of cool people there, people that took my career to the next level. One of those people was Kuk Harrell.
Josh and I met about 10 or 11 years ago. I was working on Lionel Richie's project at the Record Plant. Josh was my assistant on the session, and I needed to actually go in the booth and sing some background vocals once Lionel left. And I asked Josh, I was like, hey man, would you mind, just cutting me real quick on this? I know how everything is supposed to be in my headphones, like it's a very specific way, as an artist to be singing something. And I remember realizing that Josh, without us even talking about what I wanted to hear, he was naturally putting it in the same place that I would put it in. So at that point, I was just kind of like, wait a second, this dude is he's special. He recorded me on this one record. I came back the next day. I was like, man, would you mind coming back doing this again? I really like what you're doing. And then after I got done with the record, I asked him if he would, do a rough mix on it. And once he did that, I was like, this is the guy. Like, Josh he's the shit.
When we did Rihanna's Loud album, we jumped on tour with her, and we had a studio bus. So Rihanna would perform, and then after her performance, she would do a meet and greet, and maybe around 1 o'clock in the morning, she'd jump on the bus, and we'd cut vocals until she was tired. Once Loud was done, Kuk was already jumping on her next project. So at the time, I kind of got shifted off the Rihanna project, and I was a little bummed out about that, because, Rihanna's dope. And then like 3 or 4 days later, I get a text from JB. He's like, can you come on the road with me? I want to do an acoustic album. And I was like, sure, let's go. Kuk, up to that point, did every album Justin's ever worked on.
When Josh asked me about doing the Justin Bieber project without me, I felt great about it because I saw that he had learned one of the most important things that I was conveying to him in our mentor relationship, and that's a basic respect. And of course, on the human side, it's kind of like, oh, my guy's gonna leave me. But at the same time, as a leader, that also shows you who you are as a leader. When I see that they go on to do huge things, I know that a part of me is still with them.
As far as the mentorship goes, Kuk was a very important mentor in my life. When you're in the military, everyone has to learn each other's jobs, and everyone teaches you things. If everybody knows what they're doing, it makes the whole team stronger. The music industry is not so easy to find a mentor, and people keep secrets and keep things hidden for the sake of their own careers. I don't take that approach. I've always had a mentor. I've always been mentoring people. I'll make sure that I could do everything in my power to teach them everything I know and to raise them up and crush it in the industry. There's no room for ego in music.